Gilg Jew, Gilg J as Gilg Nerach.
Babalia Mussahaltiger agus a Claare show, Claare na Gael. This is Robert Cutting Carswell, Robert a Carslach.
Have you ever had tell about Bobby Bob?
And I'm here to present this programme which is called Claare na Gael, and which comes to you in the English language as Visjitut Sahilg, and which comes to you in the Manx Gaelic, Chinyan Amera, the mother tongue of Alan Banning, the Isle of Man. As Banachtan Dutrish, not infrequently in Claare na Gael before now, the Celtic saints have provided a host of interesting stories, some of them perhaps bizarre and unlikely, and they sometimes show unexpected connections. However, to be honest, this is going to be a bit of a Celtic ramble rather than very structured, but there we are. Ons skielferish grim men musit ri en seg mo treslin, ta benfrint zeilen erskin taus, ach wanalach as njau ginnel. As novelle inruchen de welly julde vier suri fers fair, ach ti ginu fache jou, creer bi, go rihoil as wujles dad. Claare na Gael starts with a storm, or the elements, which is what the name of the Scottish group Shean means, as they urge their man to keep his promises. Come na yali. Tawas geestiach rish radio banning, station and ashun, viscol or scaliamach, by doolish, Elian Banning. Yes, and in the band, she and these days the three voices of Caitlin Lilly, Ailey McCormack and Ellen MacDonald, who you heard having enjoyed their own performance there, laughing about what they've just done. They're joined by the guitar of Innes White, but of course they were joined by other guest musicians there on that rendition of Cúl na Yali, Cum na Gialdanan in Manx. The 1st of May is the feast day of St Asaph, who gives his name, in English at least, to the town in Wales. It's not officially a cathedral city, although it has a cathedral. The Welsh name for the town is Llanelwy, with Llan meaning a church or church foundation, and Elwy is a reference to the river on which the town stands, or Afon Elwy. The religious foundation here is said in one version of the story to have been founded by its first bishop, Kentigern. Now, this is a reminder, perhaps, that from the white cliffs of southern England up to the River Clyde, it was all a Brythonic-speaking area. That's to say, Brythonic, ancestor of the Welsh, Cornish and Breton languages. Because Kentigern was a 6th century figure, he died just into the 7th century in 612, he was from Strathclyde, the river valley of the Clyde. He also had a nickname or pet name which was Mungo, and as St Mungo, Glasgow Cathedral is dedicated to Kentigern. Apart from Scottish dedications, there are also dedications to him further south, mainly in Cumbria, which is again significant. We'll come back to that significance. Fy on as smegel birach ege, as tan ven prins gynnu fachet je, gred fel the smegel ege jyn gorish gob treslan. Mach y sien fod y chwlio fech cor ri yn seg mor treslan Och fy a ven prins cori ri, son jwlden y ffyr sŵri, a son gynnu chwish fachet jaw. Te lw. De gynne cori de vei pusht, rish yn chyd te siwl na dayan, vis chitgus yn doros ege. As hager de rau sien, a rena de banag rauelach. Ve a ven frins, ve gele castjul merish, as gouds wat gulle red, wat fagen boel jindesach, as vrij je en a rena de banag, quai slesh na boel shaw, dregere, slesh ri en seg mor treslen ad, as sliats weg ad, de berg eschen eg de jou. As dilly ish mach, she toet eg de jaru van misje trai, de rauw ri en seg mor treslen hem, as eschen chom mai. Esh doet de ver was shul na daien en dun je sheshek. Henel dun je, well, henel eschen de te ginste na veli kunta monagen ach ti bwishel drau dun je sheshe eliek. Now, Breton singer Dom Doof takes heart here in singing a song which is called, well, just that, Calon.
Mama friend, a vishal waren an kanabusten, en hempen verler reual, betegi geloch elechar, und kede wieder kommt tagau, es ösel jom mit treendau, pium ist von denen mehr wach, und da wind mit me zuot, bas ma hofe mama halon, Gouët bas, kinjen en tan, kreise den maren, muske puan kleoalon. Bas ma halon, dindan ma hohen, hiriga hanon, tal ma furen, a wira greisa galon lauen, mestres ma fen. Benade hoch fe ma halon Gouedig bas kinjeren ton Crazy in mountain skipon creolon Bas ma halon di dam ma hohen Heilige hanon tal ma fuden A wira greis a galon lauen Mr. Muffin
And just as in Manx and in English, cree or heart literally means, of course, heart, but can also mean courage, the royal cree, to take heart. And it's the same in Breton, and their Dom Duf sang calon, meaning heart or courage. And Dom Duf is the singer who spells his name Dom, D-O-M, and then he spells his surname capital D, lowercase u-f, and then capital F at the end, Dom Duf. Lug den ven Prince Vagen de boelien de zag shen, renke tai bach. Shaw, va tai en dunje sheshek en de reine de banag, as on shen ve aru bege kujach. Ach, Henke macht nach dodde, wenn Prinz Gino aber me gieter taide kjaat, gorish Gino ail na kogra. As me so van den je sheshek kori de Gino aberelia, as Henke macht around the lauwenek ro bedde, de fee sladden shelly, de Gino baskeden, na de snew an oder rauwe snai garu, kor merek liege fool. Maar so rennen dan je sheshek kjannach a baart de voet, as de hein groganach, as vi courage de grek had ze verge, vi goil nere, de bergi vagerichek pege bi as enori as de berge ginu fagegi. Ach, o eilen vi der aus sly arltach de ik kreier bibi de hieres on de poet, as ren pertjou cornergegi gin goil na poet heen. Ach, lug shen vi currit le spart elje de voet, as vi ons uljen na vergi, as na poet na shadow roi. Tre, henk saidur kabel mesje sha, as renne snapper al stjach ons meen de poet, as wat smash it ons tausen meer. Tred en wen Prince Gold of Valias ginst en dunje sheshek mechon en drach eek, te corriri. Now, with the area of Strathclyde having been Brythonic-speaking, the lands associated with it stretched into what is now Cumbria in England. However, the name of Cumbria is exactly the same root as the Welsh name for Wales, Cymru. The name Wales is from a Germanic root and bestowed on the area by people from outside, looking on those who lived there as strangers, foreigners. And there are many places across Europe where some form of the name has been used, showing that these were a different set of people living there. Wallachia, Wallonia, the Walloons of Belgium and the Netherlands are such people, and Welschland is the German name for the French-speaking part of Switzerland. Now, apart from Wales itself, there's the Horn of Land, Corn, the land of the foreigners, Cornwall, who were Brythonic speakers, so the Horn of Land of the foreigners is Cornwall. Within what is now England, there are place names beginning Wall as well that seem to have been Brythonic enclaves surrounded by Germanic settlers. Osborne on fiddle, Robert Smythe on accordion, Julie Matthews on flute and Peather Cubley on whistle with Yn Sian Ernach Chirach, recorded for the Manx Folk Dance Society.
Manx Radio!
Sienne the Jarrow, Shen Stasiwn and Asiwn, Shen Radio Banning the Jarrow was on Shaw She Claare na Gael vis Reclash Cartnish, Meryn Peen, Robert Gouët and Gouedig, Robert Carslach.
Did the ever hear tell of old Bobby Bob?
To Claare na Gael Reclash and Rish, Rishacht and Lugji Guller Scalia Mach, a Shen through Dinedega Radio Banning as Erich Raman Eish Rish. De podcast J. Claare na Gaelnius, as de Shen redden nasty through Dinedega Radio Banning, na trud Kereder and Podcast Elia. Apple Podcasts, Amazon Audible, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn na Alexa. Cumbria and Cymru, derived from the Brythonic cumbro, fellow country, so they saw each other as fellow countrymen. The early tales known as the Mabinogi are thought of as Welsh texts, but although collected there, quite a few of the stories are actually set in the area of Clyde, with expeditions into what is now Cumbria. And that's an area known as Hen Gogledd in Welsh, the Old North, the Brythonic kingdom of Strathclyde with its capital at Clyde, now known in a name derived from the Gaelic as Dumbarton, the fort of the Britons. These areas were known as part of the traditional stories of later Welsh culture, even when the Brythonic-speaking areas had been lost. The Strathclyde Christian figure of Kentigern, or Mungo, came to be associated with a town on the Avon Elwy. Now, one tradition makes Kentigern, as I was mentioned, the first bishop of this religious foundation of Llan Elwy, and St Asaph is said to have been a disciple, a follower of Kentigern, and St Asaph it was who became the second bishop after Kentigern, so it's said. Quair en ryw clastian jain lid as ve the high ons ullion a vergi lesh put chroganach dort en dunje sheshe ekrish ven prince. Nish, square by Kenya. Tammy fag en the velu cuis on oberkagen be. Tammy vraiach de castel de era, vel ad giri kalian early. As dort ad nevelat nai failure. Eg een goed sloe nieuw gedden de goed wegi menasti. As henk nina re, de wei na kalien early, de wei sumnich treer bi eg a chogra, as de chulina an overs dockery. Ons dag poggedek rennie kjanla pot beg, as rennie corli tai ondau, creer bi waar marn, as les shen wat gul bege. Hagere, laderau, treva feliagin, je banish je French shinna, de jach a benbach soes na Griechen, as wie na jadu ljorish dorse jemer hai, de hagen na betagert. As treva seiljagens a wal, henken sheshachs jach on, as dag pech na spoech na pech roschen, as wat de chulje red on, je solicit a stormage. Trelisic Gardens are in Cornwall, overlooking the Carrick Roads, the deep water estuary there. Cornish singer Frank Franklin saw a man sitting on a bench, looking out over the Carrick Roads, sitting in Trelisic Gardens, and he wrote this song, which he called simply Trelisic.
First thing on my mind, when I wake up, and the last when I fall asleep. Parading the town with my one trip how you were mine forever. Fooling around, I can see us now in the gardens that we cherish. And you'd amuse the warden while I would pinch the plants. So we were young and foolish. But now I'm left to play alone. The trees are bare, the horizon is a blur covered by mist. There I sit, longing to see your face in the gardens that we live for. On a bench, my fingers are welded to the iron by the cold. My lover is nowhere to be found, and oh, I am so old. Death's around, don't make a sound, all the trees are falling down. Death's around, don't make a sound, all the trees are falling down. Death's around, don't make a sound, all the trees are falling down. Death's around, don't make a sound, all the trees are falling down. Death's around, don't make a sound, I'll pick you out and hunt you down. Death's around, don't make a sound, all the trees are falling down. Falling down. All the trees are falling down.
Cornish singer and songwriter Frank Franklin and his song Trelisic, based on Trelisic Gardens there, where he saw a man sitting on a bench looking over the Carrick roads. Es money a ben prince an eri ec heen, leis cri trimsach. As renny dobberen, a morn as a nerd wanelus ve croshen, ver cor liawi cho angel, as chomei ons huisbachnet. As gouds van a Claare and the wie, cho mee, as cho medde, as cho mai a sorok, gull immer, hug as vai, nish as rish, Jinnach na sharventen, kjauji broeliach na renny cor ons na poggedenek, as ve foi cor li tired. As sesh hai a prince heen sha, as comrich on shiege as velvet, les triacht me girte wannel. As tre honneke a ben eilen, the shadows a doris, gawi graham jane lawek, as renny grainige de gaunsen merish. Ach, renny gobble, as ulju a crow, a fair honneke de ne ri en seg mo treshlen von, ver jit de huriori, as vi chorar schule les fagid. Ve njau immertjach de chadu najege, jarne stjachse chemer, as dol tajemach renne bonde wat de goeie na pocket in a kant, brisha. One of the tales of St. Asaph as a young disciple of St. Kentigern and St. Mungo was that he brought him live coals in his clothing, without doing any damage whatsoever to his clothing or in fact to himself. St. Asaph evangelised mainly in what became Flintshire in northeast Wales, and the area he centred on became a village known as Llanasa, the Church of St. Asaph. The bishop of the area, and I think the use of the term bishop is honorific rather than official, was apparently, this was the first bishop, a Brythonic figure called Cundern rather than Kentigern. But when Cundern moved away and went among the fellow countrymen in Cumbria, St Asaph instead became the leading Christian figure at Llanelwy. There are several churches and some holy wells dedicated to St Asaph, including Ffynnon Asa, which is the second largest holy well in Wales. Noting that connection with St Kentigern, there was a Scottish cult of St Asaph as well, but for many years a fair was held in the town in Wales to celebrate the feast day of St Asaph on the 1st of May. The quartet Seolying, here's us, is from Limerick, and don't be fooled by the quiet opening here, as they throw themselves into the well-known Irish traditional song Cailleach and Gouedig, the old woman with money.
Bartid a Malasha. Is Gouët and Gouedig, she tam Vikin Ward, agus more in the Chas. She the Mamoyo, Cailleach and Gouedig. She the Mamoyo, Cailleach and Gouedig. She the Mamoyo, Cailleach and Gouedig. She the Mamoyo, Halish Mori. Is Khalid she got dear Mori for Jarig. She the Mamoyo, Cailleach and Gouedig. Is this actually fuel on Friday, on Saturday?
She's your grandmother, the old woman with the money, though, the hag with the money. Sheadwa Moe, Cailleach and Gouedig, an energetic version by Limerick quartet Seolying. He is with us. The Normans made St Asaph's an official see in the 12th century. From 1670 to 1680, the Bishop of St Asaph was Isaac Barrow. He'd been translated to St Asaph's from Soda and Man, where he was, of course, bishop from 1663 to 1671. There was a year's overlap between Soda and Man and St Asaph. Isaac Barrow had set up the educational fund which was used for King William's College, but the alumni are known as Barrowians. In the island, Isaac Barrow was bishop, a lord spiritual, but also governor, a lord temporal. So it must have been something of a change for him to be without those worldly powers at St Asaph. However, he used his energies to make substantial repairs to the cathedral and bishop's palace. He built an almshouse for the 8 poor widows, and he planned a free school, although actually he didn't get to build the free school before he died. And in fact, his gravestone at St Asaph caused something of controversy by inviting people to go into the cathedral and to pray for his soul. Now, of course, that was a controversy because that was a practice of the Catholic Church rather than of the Church of England, so a slight furore after his death even from Isaac Barrow in St Asaph. Ren the pooch tuja mag as, as ren na nauri ruime geert, as ren broeliach skeelt mag, de golje wol. As tre ren en sly, fag en shen, va gerrig die moer as krijjok, as ve goil chwish nere, draui buishel, draui tausen fai fo hollow. Renny seidige gus a dorris de reier soelwijnbol, tre ren dunje tertenig, kaart na griechen. As tre ichi ersen, she rie nes eg ma treslin waan riech. Doorte rie ons correg ingel, na Gael. Mish as a dunje we shul na dien, as merish wou berg as a weg wol weg, ta shingen no nen. Son a graai moort, hugt mi moon faredig. As she mish ren brishin de pooch, ed ons va gommetje saidoor kabel. Ren mi olju je shen, da jaar noes de grie mornach, as de gerige de uit wanneles, hogors de jinu fake jim. Esh ren I ko de share was dorty, ta chwisha gergin dem, as genel mi few de way de wen jesje. triple harp player, the Welsh triple harp from Machynlleth is Cerys Habana. Cerys Habana, they're her two given names. She doesn't use her surname like many other Welsh artists. So Cerys Habana, and she was playing the Welsh traditional tune, A Pibydd Coch, the Red Piper.
The Nation Station, Manx Radio.
Stasiwn na nasiwn, sioch de fyr sien de grey, Radio Vanning, as eg tre ton, tawys geestiach rish Claare na Gael. She Robert Cutting Carswell, mish Robert a Carslach.
Ever heard tell of old Bobby Bob?
Ach, door drie en seg mo treslin rish a ben frins. Gau cree. Tan a drach len en ol sha. Nish, liegt un ginu failure jane vanishine. Eis henk stjaak nam rens hier weisach, as huggad mooi eidach stome. As henk een eiregge, as ulje na koertern. As huggad dorri jieriens on manres, ons chitte wei poest, rish rie en seg mor reslen. As eis henk toiach der ginu gin de jaro. Genodem ach buishel de wadda gus as mish, wei on shen yes. En shen jera skiel shen, as signed out grain, wel mi ruwe glaas na skiel shen rosh nish, rosh maroutchin dees ilg gull korori. Gin gus a na skiel, wel chilly racht de feishem, michion shen de slying rei, snjach de ben, son en machalian shaw. Vis order na foglen se beul kateloer, ach nee snjach de wis beni, ach kalien te geben a snjachta. Maar so jaren de wel een kalien shaw, j benid snjachti. Another bishop of Soda and Man, who was translated to the See of St. Asaph, was Thomas Fowler Short. Thomas Fowler Short was Bishop of Soda and Man from 1841 to 1846, and then he became Bishop of St. Asaph from 1846 to 1870. Thomas Fowler Short was the son of William Short, who had been appointed as the Archdeacon of Cornwall. Now, whilst that was based in Truro, Truro Cathedral was still some way off at that time. There had been St. Mary's Church in Truro since 1259, with various rebuilds, but the foundation stone of Truro Cathedral, the three spires, wasn't laid until 1880, and work wasn't completed until 1910. And the remains of St. Mary's are incorporated into the part of the cathedral. The leading architect for Truro Cathedral was John Loughborough Pearson, and he was married to Jemima Christian, the cousin of Pearson's friend, Ewan Christian. And Ewan Christian was a great church architect. He was employed by the Church of England for that role, and he became president of the Royal Institute of British Architects, and he was a descendant of the Christians of Milntown. John Loughborough Pearson was also, apart from Truro Cathedral, he was also the architect of the new Kirk Braddon in 1873. A young girl goes to the shore, and there she takes the form of a hornless beast, a mailie. And this is a song of the bald beast, I suppose you could say, the hornless beast. And it seems to be what Scottish singer Kim Carney is singing about here, a rather mysterious song. Oran the Beistje Mele, Kim Carney, a song in Scottish Gaelic, and the song of the hornless beast. And as I say, Mealy is a word that's used commonly in the island before the days when cattle were habitually dehorned, and so a cow that had lost its horns or didn't develop horns was a Mealy and didn't have horns at all. It's the same word that's found in the Mule Hill and in the name Mulchriest, for example, various Mull names. Mule is a bald-headed hill, and Mulchriest, for example, is the bald follower of Christ, and so on in all those names, where it denotes a monk who had the tonsure, he had his head shaven as a form of religious respect. So anyway, that's Oran the Beistje Mele by Kim Carney. Now, this is all very discursive, I know, but Cornwall has been part of this narrative as the horn of the land of the strangers, Cornwall. And now with Truro Cathedral and its very slight Manx connections, as I say, designed by the same man who designed Newkirk Braddon, it's a bit like the articles you used to get in the newspapers about someone who'd made the news and they tried to demonstrate some sort of Manx connection with that person, no matter how slender. But as well as being the feast day of St Asaph, the 1st of May, that's also the feast day of St Breac, another Cornish saint who gives his name to a village in Cornwall. However, St Breac was from what was to become Cardiganshire in West Wales, where there's the village of Llandoveryog, the church of Breac. For many of these early Celtic holy men, Cornwall was a bridging point linking Wales and Brittany. In Cornwall is St Breac, and in Brittany is Saint Breug. And he's one of the 7 founder saints of Brittany, and he died at one of his Breton foundations. Because of his charity, St Breac is the patron saint of pursemakers. She meen a jouw van, as when a flogen sneachty tusjum gurish fedje gun wijn spare. As for ben rein na saaieg en onjegek as ish gavrige, as for frame en over sneejek, as ebony. As gouds wie gavrige as ish blege maag na kuurten een jachte, renny brodde a werk, as hutch woi 3 beinen volle een jachte. As tre honniki kreeg o Gael as gejug as wie, doortie riheen. O, der rau petje hem, ge ben as sneachta, ge jurg as fool, as ge doe as a foy je frame en over sneidje hem. Ge nee vader na saan me wei, de roggerie nien, les krag en ge ben as sneachta, les melen ge jurg as fool, as les fault ge doe as ebony, as wie enmesich benid sneachti. As trevish ruggich, hoere ben ren bes. Trevor Blaine ol sha, renne rie goil ben chesje elje. Ben ellen, ach mornach astronesach, as gedoddy surrel pecher be, de wei na seile na ish. Now, Gwendol Moy is from Brittany, and he's living in Colchester, and there he's joined by Emma and Tom Hardy, and they play together as the trio Sauzon, the Saxon trio. And Gwendol leads the way on the Breton song Metig.
Hyrjoan Cavresizel di tosti de glewe Hyrjoan Cavresizel di tosti de glewe Alle stores barro la 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 I'm for you calling And the stars mighty la 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 I'm for you calling There's a flying along there's a stuff again there I'm bad over the best to do la 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 that's what you make
Gwendal Moele from Brittany, but living in Colchester, as I say, joined by Emma Hardy on fiddle and Tom Hardy on guitar. The gles hwr ystol obi ag yna ben Cheshire Shaw, as we cleacht it rishwein a shadow roi, as Gian Stjach ongi as grey. Gles hwr ystol a wall mor tau, koi wissen versela, as ulju jau. As jennach a gles hwr ystol fregert, she osten versela as ulju jau. As we jint boeiach, no drau fissek, drau a gles hwr ystol lort en irnja. Another Celtic saint whose feast day is the 1st of May is Corentin from the Lizard Peninsula in Cornwall, who also crossed over to Brittany, where he's another of the 7 founder saints of Brittany. He had a fish from which he cut and ate a slice every day without the fish getting smaller. A feast is kept in his honour at Kemper in Brittany. And Sinead Custanuch and Kajerik as Cochanas and J. Sorts na Sorts Enyach. Between 7 and 9 you can enjoy 2 hours of the best in chill-out music for your Sunday evening in the company of Chris Pearson. At 9 o'clock, Judith Lay will be here as sundown once more goes to the Guild. On Tuesday evening, the 5th of May, in addition to celebrating the birth of 1930 of T.E. Brown, you can go along to the Lecture Theatre at the Manx Museum in Douglas for 6 o'clock, when Chris Lewin will be giving a talk entitled Manx Gaelic and the State, Opportunities and Challenges. It's an event organised by the Manx Language Research Group for Putton Plain na Gilga. At 6 o'clock this Tuesday evening, the 5th of May. Claare na Gael closes with Manx Quartet Sheer. As the Jaru Shene Nation, so until the next time then, this is Robert Cutting Carswell, Robert de Carslach.
Old Bobby Bob.
Wishing you a very good night, Eve. I'm a Creortas, that's my Yiri and Share.